house, in the loud house. One boy, 10 girls, wouldn't trade it for the world. Loud house.
Hey, you chewing the gum. I hope you brought enough for everybody.
Loud House Critic here. And oh boy, do I really got a good episode today to review. And this Loud House episode requested most likely came from everybody, because this episode just came last month on the 6th of March. And man, was it a good episode. I really enjoyed myself. And that episode is Stage Plight. Similar term to the word stage fright. It is the 46th episode of season 3 of the Loud House, but overall the 147th episode. And man, is this a really interesting episode, especially when it centers around Luan Loud, the funny girl of the Loud House. And this episode was directed by somebody else. Not Chris Savannah, not Kyle Marsh, just somebody new. Alright, I'm gonna stop and just review the episode. So we start this episode off at the high school, and Luan is going to her locker and sees a good sight of Benny in a mirror.
I will hold you and help you stand. Feel the love that's all around.
Hey, who's the dreamboat, Toots? You're looking at him the way I look at a fresh coat of varnish.
Did her dummy, Mr. Coconuts, just talk? Okay, I'm almost being half scared here to even know if that dummy is even alive or if Luan Loud has a multiple personality disorder as frickin' Wesker and Scarface. But it's a cartoon. The difference is, this is the Loud House, that was Batman. This is two different universes. Anyway, Luan goes up to some kind of board about what Benny just signed up for, and he signed up for an audition for drama class for the production of Romeo and Juliet. Oh my God, I love William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet ever since middle school. So Luan signs up because if she does, she'll be able to spend some time with Benny. I think we all about to know where this is gonna go. Consider that Romeo and Juliet is a story about two lovers. So next we see the auditions for anyone who's trying to audition to be Romeo or Juliet. By the way, you see this high school looking LaMilton Tayshaw teenager? Someone like him is not fitted out to be in a play like this if he can't even memorize his own lines. Hell, I'm surprised guys like him would actually write stuff on his arm. Bessie better to be cheating at homework. Till Benny's on the set now. And by God, is he good. I mean, just listen to him.
A rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
I will hold you and help you.
Enough with that already.
Hey up there, wake up!
You're on.
Whoops.
So the next day, once all the students look up to the bulletin board to see what they got, to see if they actually made it in or not. And Luan being a little too nervous and shy to know if she even got into the play or not. But
Relax, doll. You're in the play. And so is your fella. Hey, save that drama for the stage.
okay, seriously, I'm starting to think Mr. Coconut has a mind of his own. So now that Benny and Luan are on their rehearsal stage, getting to know each other so much better and having such a little chat until...
And now, thespians, here's your drama teacher, the two-time nominee for Royal Woods Dinner Theater's Best Director, Mrs. Bernardo!
My God, did she just announce herself?
It sure looks that way.
Stop it, you're too kind.
Oh my God, she is such a tool. So Mrs. Bernardo, I believe is how that way her name is pronounced, separates the cast from Capulets to Montagues. And it turns out Luan's not really happy much about this, because she's playing a Capulet while Benny is playing a Montague. And she tries to make things work by asking one of the classmates to switch sides over and over again. It's almost likely it could not almost get any more difficult than what they're actually begging for what they really want to do, under certain conditions. So after she got several deals, finally, she is now on the Montague side with Benny. So the next day, their drama teacher tells the students that they're going to actually rehearse a special part in the Romeo and Juliet scene, and that is the kissing scene. Oh God, how do I love that scene from the actual movie, especially when it's on the balcony scene. That is the most recognizable and memorable part of the Romeo and Juliet stage play, or movie, whatever you all prefer. While most of the students, including Luan and Benny, are actually sitting down, two of one of the weirdest students are acting out for the scene of Romeo and Juliet. And like I said about Lamilton Tayshaut's absent-minded cousin, has so much trouble remembering his fucking lines. I can't even imagine why.
Then move not. Hang on. While my prayers affects I fake. No, wait, that's a T. Take, not fake.
Hell no. Ever catch around that fat fucker again, I'll chain you to the bedpost.
That's why it's called studying. That's what school helps us with. He sooner isn't going to be graduating anytime sooner or later. But, however, the drama teacher actually sees Luan and Benny actually reacting with each other and notice the chemistry that they actually share.
It may be 9 o'clock in New York, but right here, it's mountain time.
Okay! Can't argue with that. And she has made these two to play the leading roles of Romeo and Juliet. But as much as Luan is clearly being nervous about these changes, she bails out to actually leave. Well, we're back at the Loud house, and Luan is just laying down on her bed, feeling too mopey. And once again, she's talking to herself, no, to Mr. Coconuts, that she's nervous about kissing Benny. She's never kissed a boy before, to be precise. Yeah, I can actually agree with that. It's really not that hard to kiss anybody, especially when it's just a play or an actual movie you're actually being set on. So on the first day of the audition of rehearsal, Luan and Benny are about to be at the kissing scene, but Luan just cowardly calls time out because she has to take a piss break, and then later comes back until...
Gadzooks!
Now rehearsal is just canceled until they can get these sandbags fixed. I wonder what caused them to actually fall like this way. Sandbags don't break easy like that, unless somebody had cut the ropes.
Ah! Why would you do this?
Next day of rehearsal, Luan Loud has another little sneaky trick up her sleeve again to avoid kissing Benny on stage once more again.
Hey, everybody! Can't wait to rehearse! Whoa!
Are you finally dead?
Oh geez, the old banana peel slip and fall trick. That banana peel slip and trip shit don't work. It never works. And Luan is pretending that she got an injury on her back.
Oh, it's nothing. Probably just a slipped disc. No pun intended. Ow! I mean, ow! Ow! Ow!
Pussy. Come on, Luan. Pack her up and kiss that damn white boy already.
A little more off the sides, please.
So the next day, for rehearsal, Luan is just about ready, and I hope she is ready just to kiss Benny. This time, I swear to God it better happen.
Then move not, while my prayers affect I take.
Now what?
Instead of a kiss, why doesn't Juliet just, send Romeo a text?
Really? A text? In a Romeo and Juliet play? Geez, I don't think anyone's actually going to take that for a modern, different level for Romeo and Juliet.
You're genius! A modern take on a classic. Bravo!
Yeah, of course an idiot would actually accept that. In fact, that'd be one messed up Romeo and Juliet, modern style. So now before the real rehearsal actually begins, the rehearsal is canceled until Mrs. B can actually find a new Romeo. Benny isn't nowhere in sight.
He up and quit! He suddenly remembered he has a conflict with chess club.
This doesn't make any sense. Benny isn't even in chess club.
Speaking of, I wonder what is chess club anyway. I didn't have that in school. But later we actually see Benny sitting on a bench by himself until Luan actually joins him. And yet we actually know why he quitted the play. Because of Luan, who wasn't even that much comfortable with him playing Romeo. And just as you were almost anything can get any crazier and any scarier, we have this happen.
She was nervous because she's never kissed anyone before. Mr. Coconuts! What? Someone's gotta say it!
Well, that's nothing to be ashamed of. Benjamin's never kissed anyone either.
Mrs. Apple Blossom, oh, you weren't supposed to tell.
Good God! What the hell? Did they just talk?
This is precious. Benny actually has a marionette of his own. That's kind of scary looking. You two think you're the only ones who actually have a dummy of your own?
Hello, dummies. It's good enough that I'm actually in this review with this big dummy himself, Taurean. And I must admit, I'm very impressed that Luan actually has a dummy, Mr. Coconut, and Penny has some kind of freaky marionette named Mrs. Apple Blossom or whatever her name is.
Doug, what the hell are you doing here?
Like back in my days, I had my freaky ass cousin who
May I
was kind of
continue?
sort of related to that crusty old idiot named Scarface. Nothing like him compared to the actual Scarface.
May I
who was hanging
continue?
around with some guy who dresses like a bat every night.
Yes, thank you, Doug. Jesus Christ, he talks too much. Sorry about him, folks. So Luan, Benny, and their two puppets get more acquainted until when this leads up to, and dear God, I say it, it's finally gonna happen. Finally, it actually happened. Isn't it romantic? Now we actually see the siblings, Lincoln and the mom and dad, actually in the crowd, but barely any of them had a dialogue in this. So much to this, Luan and Benny actually make it up in the Romeo and Juliet play. And man, are they such a good couple. Doesn't anyone else out there agree?
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Who said that?
Holy crap! They talk! They actually talk!
Who said that?
Aw, are you scared shitless, little girl? Mr. Coconuts was able to move by himself, and Lola's being scared fucking shitless about it. I don't know why. That's such a Casablanca line. And Lola being confused and being scared at the same time at that. Pussy. So Stage Plight was really, really good. As much as I can put it this way. An episode that really centers around Luan and nobody else. Much any of her siblings get so much of a dialogue when Luan got much of the spotlight, so literally to speak. And with her dummy Mr. Coconuts for somehow reason has a mind of his own, with so much around to be her guide. I'm so grateful her dummy isn't Slappy from Goosebumps. But it was much of a funny episode, as much of it was a fun episode as I can put it. When I saw this episode, I was really interested that it was all about much Luan Loud in this one, especially when she was being in drama class with her love interest, Benny, who we actually saw in L's for Love, and was having so much of a difficulty trying to kiss this boy. Girls, if you're kissing a cat, you ask a cat. If you're kissing a boy, just go for it if he really wants to kiss you. And as for Benny, he had so much of a character development than just being some kind of tool in this episode. We get to discover and see what he's really about, which kind of made the episode a little more interesting. Luan signs up for the play act that Benny is being in. She was happy at first to actually be there around with him until she realized that he and her were playing Romeo and Juliet, which means that they were going to have to kiss. I know so much as actors can pretend like they can actually kiss a person or to have sex with them, but that's not quite the case of this. All actors pretend to do stuff in the movies. I mean, you could see Eddie Murphy kissing Jada Pinkett Smith when really Will Smith is the one who actually marries Jada Pinkett Smith. But all in all, besides kiss the girl like they're supposed to do like they did in The Little Mermaid, this episode Stage Plight, I'm actually going to give 9 out of 10 stars. There was so much to see and so much to experience and discover in this episode. I mean, honestly, if you're a Luan Loud fan, you're really going to love this episode along with the others with Fool Me Twice, April Fool's Rules, and No Laughing Matter. Heck, she played a good part in Head Poet's Anxiety. When it's not April Fool's Day, Luan is like the least troubled kid next to Lenny Loud. Because Luan Loud I see as a female version of Robin Williams. Her outfit got me so inspired, that's how I became Larry Houdini. I shared a good mixture with her and Robin Williams together. And that kissing moment at the end of this episode in the third act was really romantic and touching at the same time. Even I got Whitney Houston singing.
Enough!
Oh no, this felt more interesting than Racing Hearts did. And I'm not gonna lie, but I really enjoyed this one a lot more than Racing Hearts. But it says it all to anyone else out there who enjoyed this episode when they first saw it premiere. April is almost finished and I just got at least one more Luan Loud episode to review next Thursday. I am the Loud House Critic. I love Romeo and Juliet.